Hey, what's up traders? This is Dave and welcome to this weekly review. So this is dollar index weekly chart and I am expecting this gap to be filled. Before I will go to the deeper analysis, I will show you on the lower time frame some nice price action which is going on and what I'm expecting, right? So let's go to the 12 hours. There is not any specific reason why I'm using the 12 hours right now. It's just because it's high time frame enough to see nice price action and not too much noise, right? So what we got in here, we got the break of the structure in here, then return into the origin, then the price following lower, again creating new break and again retracement, then it created the bottom in here and then smash it through it. So here is obviously nice swing high created and the order block, so it will be strong high, and I think there is a lot of unfilled orders which I will show you later on the COT data. So this could be a nice potential level where the price could come back, right? As well, in here we got a monthly fair value gap which has nested daily fair value gap, right? We got some liquidity in here and here is this order block. So in my opinion, this would be a levels where the price could come later, but right now, as said, I am expecting the price to drop down into this fair value gap and this daily order block which has made the break of the structure in here. What as well I like in here and giving me more clue that we will go lower is definitely this multiple equal lows on the similar level, right? So you can see how it created this fake support, this illusion of the support. Then we had seen this break of this liquidity where most likely some buyers entered in here, and where they put stop losses, obviously in here, right? So in my opinion, market makers are creating the liquidity below here in order to fill probably some their longs. So as said, this is not important for me. What I am looking for right now is to price go lower through this, right? So what we got here, we got this swing high created in here. After this reaction on this level, after taking this liquidity out, right? So if I go to the daily time frame and what I would like to predict where the price will go, of course I have these levels, but what we can use as well is if we use the Fibo from this range high to this range low, I'm using the close of the candles of this one and this one. So we have the middle of this range, so we are now lower. So now we can expect the price going lower, right? Especially after this such strong move. And as you can see here, this lower level, if I put it on this swing, it's as well beautifully with this in confluence with this my target, right? So what I will do right now, I will put the Fibo and let me zoom it for you so we can see it all better. So I will put Fibo on this daily close and daily open, and I will use a optimal trade entry, and let me go to 1 hour, and now what we can see in here, right? So what I will be looking for is that if price will come back up into this level where we have this two fair value gaps as well, so price is nicely rebalanced here. If the price will come back up into this level, this should be a strong support, right? Because price already rebalanced in here. And in my opinion, we could see a nice short from here, right? Those who knows me, you know that I'm not a swing trader, so I will not be looking for something like this. But what will happen for me if the price come back into this level, right? Sorry for this. I wanted to draw it nicely. So if price come into these levels, for me, the bias would be a bearish, which is already right now, but I do not want to trade, enter here, because still we can, still this zone can be used for some pullback and a better entry, right? So this will all, of course, depends on how the market will open on the Sunday, on tonight. If we will have if the price will open with some gap like this, which can happen as well, then obviously this scenario is not valid anymore. But this is, in my opinion, what is going on in here. Let's look into the COT data, right? So here we have the COT data. Let me bring this screenshot from my application, which you can subscribe just for the $3.50 weekly if you're interested in studying this. So what we can see in here is that obviously if the price of the dollar was dropping since the August, clearly the non-commercials was been reducing their longs positions, right? We can see that beautifully. But right now, let me bring this detailed analysis of the COT data, and I want to show you something. Here, from here into here, we had the change 3K, right? So what happened? Break of the structure. So where most likely this change and this move started? It started in here, right? So obviously it creates this order block, and we have confirmed by COT data that it could be a strong high, right? And then the price, we have these two releases, nothing big extra has changed, but since this report until this report, we have seen 2.5K change. So report was obviously in here, but we know the data on the Friday, so we know them somewhere here later, always later, right? So then on that Friday, if we see that here was a big change and we get nice confirmation, is to know that when there was a 2.5K change, there was a lot of trading. Obviously they did not add these shorts here on the bottom, they have added them here on this order block where this move has started. So we have this pullback in here, right? If we continue, we can see that big sharp move which I was talking about in here. And as I said on the monthly, look at this, and we have on the monthly this big gap, right? You can see there was not even any price action into it. So in my opinion, this would be filled. And let me show you, if I bring the price, my drawings on the 4 hours time frame. This is that order block which I was talking about, right? So this is that level where was a lot of changes and the price did not come back, right? So let me show you, it's the one, right? Minus 3K change, and then more distribution was going on in here, right? So currently we are in this range as said. What has happened in this range? Minus 9K, quite big change, right? Quite big change. Then the price has moved higher above this liquidity zone, and we can see slight growth in the long. So in my opinion, there would be the price dropping lower, as I said about this gap, and maybe they could be building long positions. Who knows? That's not which I need to predict right now. We don't have the data for this. And yeah, so this confirms my thesis that we are going lower down here. So this is what I will be looking for in the next week for the dollar. Let's look to this seasonals, and what we can see in here, that mostly a dollar index, we have for those who don't know the seasonals, so we have the months in here, so January, February, and so on. And we can see the averages for the years in back, how the price action was moving, right? So pink one is 5 years, brown one 15 years, blue one is 35 years. So in the past 5 years, the dollar index average was dropping. It has made bottom on the February and started to move higher. It happened as well on the past 15 years average. The dollar index dropped, February was bottom, and then move higher. In the 35 years average, we can see that the dollar index is growing, right? So most likely, this is obviously not anything which will tell you the bias and exact what happened. It's just a average, and it does not give you the exact movements or the predictions, right? Never use this for the bias, just for the confirmation of the price action. And then we have the news. So what we got in here, Monday, there is nothing. Tuesday, Fed Powell speaking, right? Thursday, CPI data, unemployment claims. And the Friday, there is the consumer sentiment, right? So I'm not looking for this. I'm not interested in it. In my opinion, this is not what moves the markets. The release, it's most likely to confuse you and put the smoke screen what already is going to happen, right? Okay, so to summarize that, as said, I'm expecting the price to go lower in here around the 102 level. In here we will see what price action we will get. Obviously that will has to be something what will confirm my trading in order to change my buy. So for now, in the bigger picture, we are on the consolidation above this order block, and we have this fair value gap and the liquidity in here. So this is most likely going to happen for me. That's what I will be trading. So that's for the dollar index. All right, my friends, so this is a euro, and in my opinion we will see this level to be taken out. We have not only the relative equal highs in here, there is once even above in here. So of course anything can happen and price could make something like this, which would be perfect because that would be actually all these like, you know, these free touches of 3 highs created right into the weekly order block, from where the price could drop down into here, but that's too much predictions, and that's what I don't want to do. So let me show you what I think is going on in here. In my opinion, all this thing in here is a market maker buy model. So we have the original consolidation, then we have a distribution and a redistribution. In here we have the accumulation, expansion, right, and an accumulation, and in here would be something like a, you know, of course it can be like this, it would be this diagonal accumulation, and then we need to see some expansion, some higher volatility where all these positions would be closed, which would be above this, right? So in my opinion this liquidity would be nice in here. Maybe I'm wrong, of course, but this is what is in my thesis in the play. As I explained on the dollar, it's all looks like it's in confluence, right? So how this happened? So we can see beautifully market dropped into the 3 months order block, then we had the lower time frame break of the structure, price came back down into the price returned to the origin of the move, created another break of the structure, right, then again return into the origin, break of the structure in here, and we got actually this beautiful level in here which has a nice gap. So there was a speed of this market, we have this nice gap in here, and this is untested. So here I think we will play out around here, around this one, it's above the 1 whole number, right? Then we had yes, we had this break of the structure, then nothing extra happened, and then here is another structure which was broken in here. And where was the accumulation? In here, right? So basically in terms of being bearish on the higher time frame, we need to see this level to be broken, which actually did not happen. And what actually happened in here is that price dropped down into this price dropped down into this daily order block and has created this swing low. So why shouldn't we see this liquidity being taken out? Because you see that it's like, you know, it's pre-programmed. So what I would like to be doing, what I would like to see is, again, I will use this Fibo, then I go 1 hour, and that would be nice if the price make a retracement down here, right? So this is a level which I would be interested to take a trade. So obviously, as I said, I'm not trading swing trades anymore, and I'm more the intraday trader. But if the price drops down into this level, I will start to be, my bullish bias will confirm in here, and it will be like this. So for me, there will be like 200 pips potential for the buying. So everything will depends on how the market will open, how the Asian session will be created. You know, we have this beautiful fair value gap taken from the both sides. So yeah, that is in my opinion, there is a lot of confluences that it's probably still bullish, not bearish as many people think. Let's go to the COT data, and what we can see here is this. So we can see, yes, we can see the drop in the long positions, but we see the drop in the short positions as well. And let me show you something. So it might help you to how to understand to COT data. So here is that bottom where the price has flipped and the market reversed, right? So as we have seen right now, as we are seeing the drop in the longs positions, which is showing us that we will most likely see a reversal. It's might too early, because look at it, what happened in here actually. Here we have seen plus 45k reported, and then the price dropped lower, right? Again, think about it. We have the low, which is like a fake low, and what happened in here in this consolidation, there was reported plus 45k, and then the price dropped lower. You see that? And then they started to build it back again, plus 45k, price retraced, you know, and going up. Right now, let me take you here. What we see here, we see minus 16k, right? And price is going up, right? You see it in here, minus 16k, but the price dropped lower in this period, in this yellow one, for which we don't have the data to confuse us, and the price is going higher, right? So why is this happening on the top and the bottoms on the trend? Because they know that everyone is watching this COT data. Every forex trader is watching it mostly. So we have this, and then what the people think, okay, we will go down, right? But most likely, because they see this liquidity could be taken out. So we will see in the next week if this will confirm for me or not, right? But let's go through this order flow in here. Beautiful, very beautiful. I'm glad that I started to do this again. So we have seen this 3 months order block, then the price moved higher, created this new break of the structure, right? Where is the origin of the move? This consecutive candles. So what happened between these two reports, between this report and this report? Look at this, plus 45k. That's a huge change, right? So what happened then? Price dropped lower, boom, did not dip even more too much into it, because there was already orders, and then we going higher. Then we see consolidation, then we can see another break of the structure. And voila, what happened between these two reports, between this and this? So what happened in this period? Another plus 26k, like, and we can see where they most likely added this position here on the bottom. Look what happened then. Price dropping lower, we can see plus 30k, right? Most likely the price, the data are reported in here. But we already could know that if they added 45k here, it was protected, move higher, right? Created a break of the structure, they added another plus 26k. Most likely in here, we could know that the price will not go lower. They did not do this, and for just no reason, right? So again, we're going higher. How does it work in here? Then we got this, and here, yeah, here is this our order block, which I think the price will come back down into it, right? So let me show you what happened in here. We have seen that plus 30k, then it was consolidating in here, and here, as the price shown this thing, here is a plus 10k. So this plus 10k is here on this bottom, and let me show you where is it on here, somewhere here, right? Untested. Okay, anyway, so right now we are going to the top. They've been extremely bullish in here, then they close this, and now they showing us the numbers which we want to see. because what happened? Price dropped lower. Yes, minus 16k reported on the Tuesday. Then boom, you know, sellers entering, they see minus 16k. Okay, that will be bearish. Maybe not. So okay, let's go to the seasonals, and what we can see, the euro mostly on the January showing the weakness, and then it peak on the February, second part of the January, peak on the beginning of the February, and then weak February, right? So what does it mean? Nothing, right? As I said even before, and here is the news. There will be not any strong news next week, but that another week there we have this but another week we have this World Economic Forum meeting, so it's gonna be for the whole week until over the weekend, and that could be quite volatile, right? So let's see. Yeah, this is for the euro. So as said, I am still bullish, and if I will see the retracement in here and some nice price action, I will be focusing on the price reaching this level. So I will be looking mainly for the bullish trades, but as well as I'm trading on the lower time frame, I will be looking for the short-term trades too. Okay, so right now let's look to the trades which I have taken this week, and maybe we can learn something from this, because not everything was correct. Somewhere I have made a mistake, so yeah, it will be useful for you. So what happened in here? On this drop, which happened during the London session, we dropped below the previous week's low and below the previous day's low. Then the price returned back above the previous day's low and make the break of the structure. In other words, change of the character. Then the second break is a confirmation with the break of the structure, because it happened in the New York kill zone, and so this is creating as well this beautiful order block. In this move, we have included the fair value gap, so that means the algo is involved and back. And then as we moved below the 50% of this dealing range, I took the trade on this order block, right? And then 1-to-2 risk reward ratio, took the profit. As I draw the Fibo on this swing, we can see this 50%, which is the dealer range. The price actually has moved higher and redistributed the positions in here. That's something what we can learn from that, but it's obviously not always the rule when this should happen. So for that reason, I am very happy with 1-to-2 risk reward ratio, and I will show you in the next trades why it's actually good. So the next one was this trade, where we actually had the price has moved higher, and then we had the consolidation during the Asia session, which is in here. Here is the Asian session, and then the price dropped below this Asian session low and below the whole number 106. Then the price moved higher strongly with this strong rejection in here, and the gaps was down and up, right? So that means it's a strong move, and we most likely could see a violation of some liquidity in here. So I basically was baiting above this daily open, and as I have seen this break of the structure in here, I have entered on this pullback. Then the price has moved higher, it has made 2R, and then it fall down, right? But what was my mistake is that I actually set up the trade with the target on this equal highs and on this previous day's highs, which is not correct, and I did not stick to my strategy, which is a 2R target. If I did that, I would be out on this trade, right? So right now you can see that yes, equal highs and previous day's highs, that's definitely liquidity. But if you remember what happened on the Friday, price has came for this. So what basically happened is that the algo has induced more sellers, and then it came back into it, right? So I was right, but not the execution was not correct. So this is the reason trading the level and targeting 2R for me
if I do this, this trade would be good. So I basically closed something in here, something in here, and something in the. I had all three parts of this trade profitable, but did not reach my target and didn't close them in here. I basically somehow like panic sold this trade, right? Here's the next one. Here I had the stop loss. So what was the reason? Basically the price was dropping lower and it dropped below the previous week's low, which is already a sign that price could do some reversal. But if you remember the first trade, let me bring him back. If you remember the first trade, the price already been below this previous week's low. So that means that the reaction would not be that strong again, right? So that's my mistake. So I wrote it in here, my lessons, what I should learn from this. If the previous week's low is second time tested, then most likely it will go lower. And especially if it is in the New York kill zone, which was this one, we should not expect any big reversal until it reaches some strong level, right? So what I did here, we have seen the previous week's low, then the previous day's low, and I have seen this 1 minute break of the structure, which, yeah, it was, and I should actually wait for the pullback. I don't know why I did this. The important is that I have write it down, and I have learned from this. And if you look to the 5 minute time frame, which I have made screenshots in here, it actually doesn't look any bullish. It's just look like some like consolidation or some small pullback and like a continuation trade, right? So I was actually taking a long into this fair value gap, which has retraced in here, right? So that was a big mistake, this trade. And as well, I should check a 5 minute break of the structure, right? So on the 5 minute, what I would need to see is something like this. The break of the structure should be on this level, right? On this level. So yeah, I don't say stupid. That's what I did. I took the full stop loss in here. And in order this to be correct, the price should move above this price and stay in there, right? So yeah, I forced it too much into the trade and made the mistake in here. Next trade was last trade actually was on the Friday, and I actually entered and then I closed it, right? Because made mistakes. So what we have here, we have a Asian session. So the price dropped below it. Then we have the previous day's low, price going below it again in here. Then we have the break of the structure, right? And price is above this. But what I should not do is I should not be taking a trade if there is another previous day's low very close into the price action, like this and this, right? So it's very close, so I should not do that. And as well, the Friday was an NFP day, right? So should not trade in that day. Should not trade before the NFP. I should not take a trade when the previous day's lows was below. And as well, if we have this break of the structure, my entry should be in here. So yeah, so even you can see that even I have some trading plan, I have some rules. Not always we stick into them. So this was my 4 trades, and I have learned a lot of lessons in this week, mainly because I have write it down in here. And as well, I did some backtest of how it should be and what should be the trades, so which we will look them right now. Okay, so right now we will look to the backtest where I'm actually doing the trades which I want to take. Not all of them I have taken, but I want to have these trades next time, and I'm working on it. So I will do everything to improve myself and to get into this stage where I will be able to see these trades in the advance. So here's a Tuesday. We can see this bearish order flow. So what happened in here is that we had this, we need to go here. So we had the break of the structure in here, which has started in this order block. So price has came back into it, took out some liquidity in here, dropped down and has created this equal lows, right? Then moved higher, Asian session, another touch of this low, right? Then the price has moved higher, took out the liquidity in here, reclaimed this order block in here, and start to break lower. So it break lower again below these lows, retested, and now in this moment we should see that the order flow is nicely bearish and the levels are respected. So I didn't see that in the Tuesday, but right now if we zoom a bit, we can see here was a 1, 2, 3, 4 relative equal lows, right? Then we have this order blocks buildings and being respected. Then we have this last one, and if we drop this range, this dealer range in here, we can see here we have this fair value gap, and price actually just dipped a little bit above that fair value gap where we should have our entry with the stop loss above the candle that has been part of this fair value gap, right? And if we do that, we would have the nice entry here on this kill zone, in this kill zone, and still targeting just to air price sharply move down, right? This trade would work obviously as well if we hide our stop loss above this, and if we target just to R, we can get it as well. So then the price moved lower, and here's the trade which I actually had. So price has moved lower. We can see that it took out the previous day's low. Here was the previous week's low. Then we have the break of the structure, retracement. Nice order block has been created in here, and price retraced back, and then we moved sharply up. So this was a Tuesday. Actually, then if we continue to drawing the order flow, we can see how the price has reacted in here. And if we take a trade in here, yes, we would be in this range during the night, but it's still respecting the levels, right? So then we have the Asian session on the Wednesday, and as we can see, the order flow was respected. Here we can see the break of the structure, and as well in here was a small break of the structure, right? It wasn't like a clear close above it, but it was it. So here is where this move has started. Here is where is this origin. So what happened in here? Here the traders was sucked on the break of this Asian session, and then the price dipped below this two liquidity lows and as well below this one, and then it started to move higher. If we look at this is order block. All these consecutive candles on the move down are the order block. Let me bring a 1 minute time frame. Okay, it is bringing me back here. Let me zoom it back. Okay, so if we bring the 1 minute time frame, so we have the as well. Let me explain the thesis about this. So we have moved down all the ways down here, right? And then I've been expecting price to retrace back to the 50% of this dealer range, and as well into the 79% of this move, right? So we still have not been in here when we've been in this trade which I am analyzing right now. Yeah, so there was a still possibility to move higher, which gave me this confirmation, and as well we have this nice order flow. So what happened in here? As said, the price has dipped below these two lows into this order block. Here we have nice balanced price range. We have the break of the structure in here, right? And here is a order block. So the entry could actually be from here, right? This could be an entry, but I'm not sure if I would enter like this. But what I have seen is that we have all these consecutive candles created this order block. Then we have the break in here, and then we have the retest in here. So here is how I would enter. With 2R, right? Then the price reached that 79% pullback in here. So it was during the London. Then we have a break of the structure, another break of the structure, then price take out the liquidity. Look how this 79 level was retested again, and then price going lower, right? Then we have some follow-up break of the structures. We have retested this order block. So this low is now not strong low, but it's like a weak low. Then the price has come back where? Into, as we have this retracement above here, above this liquidity, and so this is a strong high now because it's above the liquidity, took out the liquidity and breaking the structure, and again in here. So this is a origin of the move. Okay, so here could be a trade. I'm not sure if I would do that, but you know, I want to have it in this my backtest, so I'll learn from that. Then I must bring a 5 minutes, so I have these sessions. Yeah, and then it's this was a New York kill zone. It was the news. Then we have a Asian session. Price dropped lower, and then it moved higher, right? So what was in here is that we have actually this. If we don't calculate with the gaps, we can actually see that we have these equal lows in here, right? So this is a equal lows, and this is already a bearish order flow because we are already in the premium prices above the 50% of the range. This is a 79 pullback of that strong move. So, and it's consolidating. So we could expect the price to move lower. And as well in here, we had this, sorry, should be like this. Actually, we had this untested order block in here. Because this was the reaction, and then it started in here, right? So we still can see how this level was respected, and in here, so we got this is now a set weak low. Here we have actually this equal lows right now, and if we look into this, so what was happening in here? We have this order flow in here, then we have this we have this liquidity in here, so the price has moved into it. It has moved into this level, and then we have the confirmation where the price has taken out this liquidity in here, right? Then we need to see a break of the structure. So another dip of the liquidity here was not the break of the structure, and here when we have these two lows. Here, this is a bigger time frame, not bigger time frame, this 5 minute order blocks, and these lows, they've been broken in here. And if we dip into it, if we look into it, here is this order block. So here should be an entry with the stop loss above here, or could be above this one, and targeting 2R. Right, now we're coming into the Friday, so we have the consolidation. We have this two equal lows, so liquidity loaded. Here was as well the previous day's lows, which been taken. Then we have the NFP. We'll take it to the 1 minute. Actually, should not take a trade NFP, but the price action was really clean. So we had this low taken during the NFP. Then we have the break of the structure, the clear one, of course. Right, so we have the break of the structure in here. Then if we plot the Fibo, price dropped nicely below the 61.8. So if we trade from the 61.8, the trade should be like this. Right, then this is as well the clear order block in here. And then the price do its things. 2R is here, right? This could be traded as well if we want to, but because we still can enter until the 11 o'clock. So if we want to, this still could be traded. If you look at it this way, we still can see the break of the structure in here. And then if we look in where is the order block of this and the dealing range of this move, of this swing. So you see the was clearly made these two equal highs, you see, and then the price dropped down here. Yeah, as well we have these two candles. Yeah, you know, the perfect entry would be, you know, making it like this, but I would like to, if I do that, I unfortunately was not on the computer, then I would like this. Okay, my friends, so I hope that this might inspire someone to start taking trading more seriously, more precisely, study, improve yourself, and you know, to track, to start to do a journal, the track records, and not only to look back how was this week my trades working or your trades working, but as well to look what trades we should have, and working on that to actually get them. And yeah, so this is it, and I wish you happy trading. Join my Discord if you want to. There is some cool guys who are really good traders as well, so we are sharing the ideas and trade sites. So we would like to see you in there. Bye bye, my friends, have a great weekend.